Hey everyone, welcome back to Google Workspace Recap, your number one source for everything Workspace by the tabGeeks Network. My name is Jesse Nolan, my co-host is Steve Larson, and we're here to help you keep up. I'd like to quickly discuss a disturbing trend I have seen. Why are so many people still calling Workspace G Suite? I'm seeing it, not everywhere, but I'm seeing it decently in a bunch of different places. Specifically, in today's ClickUp keynote. If you don't know what ClickUp is, it's a more modern version of Asana, basically. When they highlighted their totally rebuilt platform and its integrations, they prominently listed G Suite. This was rebranded in 2020. Come on, people, get with the program. Anyway, that's my rant.
I mean, the subreddit's still called G Suite. That's not going to change, and people refer to it as G Suite there a lot. But
it's because Reddit won't let you change it.
I know, but it's the people. I guess people are always referring to it still as G Suite there. And
but I remember how quickly it went from Google Apps to G Suite when Google announced that they were changing the name to G Suite. I was in the room when they made the announcement, and
I like G Suite.
I guess I don't know. I mean, it's shorter, but you could just call it Workspace. It's relatively almost as short as G Suite. Still two syllables.
I know.
Workspace,
G Suite sounds a little bit more concise.
I suppose. And it was a good name. I did like it, despite all of the G-Spot jokes that everybody made at the time. I thought it was a great name. But, there was a collective chuckle in the room when they announced that it was G Suite. Everybody was kind of looking around going... but, it's Workspace, and Workspace is a huge environment, and Google put a shitload of work and investment and marketing behind this, and it barely made a dent into what people are calling it.
Yeah.
Anybody that's not an admin, basically, I'm still hearing call it G Suite.
Well, and also, you forgot to put the space in G Suite, Jesse, so...
There shouldn't be a space. That was a dumb decision. They removed the space from Chrome OS. That was smart. They would have eventually done that with G Suite also. It's a brand.
Probably.
It's one word. But yeah, that was something that I saw this morning, and I was just like, oh, come on. I mean, this is a big company. I mean, granted, they're not, enormous, but they're a decent startup. They've got millions of customers, and they're still calling it G Suite. And fine, it was the marketing team, not the people who built the integration. I'm sure the people who built the integration know that it's Workspace because they had to go in and look at all the documentation in order to set it up. But still, it should have been called Workspace. And that's not the only place I've seen it. I've also seen it in, as you mentioned, in the forums, but also in... even YouTube videos, people that are talking about it. I still have to tag some of my posts with G Suite just to make sure that it tells the algorithm, hey, it's also about this, even though I don't say the word G Suite in the video anywhere.
My LinkedIn still says Workspace, in quotes, G Suite, evangelist. So, yeah, still there.
Ugh. Well, I think that this is a call to all admins out there to join the cause and tell everybody to stop calling it G Suite. Everybody hey, it's not G Suite anymore. It's been rebranded. It's Workspace. It's Workspace. It's Workspace. So join us. And Googlers, if you're listening, tell somebody higher up that they need to put, I don't know, $1 million in marketing money to tell people that that we rebranded it 3 years ago. Yeah. Anyway, welcome back home.
Yeah.
Back in the studio.
Back in the studio. We're here. And looking at, pretty limited number of releases this week. Just two. Two that came out during the week. And then we saw 4 others in the end of week recap post. A few little things in the news here. And a little reminder at the upcoming developer conference, Developer Summit, in Toronto and Chicago. So we'll take you through all of those headlines here and then dive into the details. So first one came out at the end of week recap here is that you can now view peripheral devices directly in the Google Meet Green Room. There's some improvements to sales and customer service integrations in Google Chat. There's now a 2-pane view on foldable Android devices. Now it's going to be available for Meet, Gmail, and Chat. And then and this kind of caught me a little bit off guard. This is not Zoom as in third-party meeting client Zoom. This is optimized Zoom experience for Google Sheets on Android devices. I thought maybe something to do with like when they did the Zoom integration with Meet, and it was like, oh, an optimized Zoom experience for Sheets on Android. That's interesting how specific they're improving that experience with the Zoom. presentations on Meet. So then also we have some published releases here that you can now. So Google is now enforcing trusted types for Google Workspace, and that's just kind of an improvement there around security and some preventing of cross-site scripting attacks. That's what that's about. And then there's an introduction here from new Smart Canvas features in Google Sheets and Docs. So more of those fancy, at something commands that you can start doing there. And then let me just get those out of the way. I almost went through those. And then in other news, we have Google's parent there, Alphabet, shuts down yet another robot project. There's some new specializations here for partners to help you identify, maybe partners to work with on certain specific projects. These are all looking like primarily GCP and Google Voice Contact Center type related things, but useful to know nonetheless. And then Google Tasks on the web. Now there we go. There's one that we've all been waiting for.
Finally.
I think, for a while. Yes. No longer is it just tasks with inside Gmail. They've been listening to us. Someone's been listening to the episodes, I think, or I don't know where they're listening, because I'm not really sure where Feature Ideas is working anymore on GCC. But here we are. Alas. And then finally, as I said, the Google Workspace Developer Summit coming up very quickly here in Toronto and Chicago. So if you haven't registered for that, please go and do that, because that's coming up in Toronto on the 9th of March. So just a little over a week away. And then in Chicago on the 14th. And I know I'm looking forward to seeing quite a few people that are coming in from out of town for that. Google and other places, I'm sure. So should be a good day out here at the Google campus in Chicago. And yeah, so that's our little lineup here for this week's updates. We'll jump into that first one. That first one being the ability to view peripheral devices directly in the Google Meet Green Room, and just making it a lot easier to manage what peripherals you are going to be using going into that meeting. So some nice little drop downs right below the screen where you can see yourself, so you're able to choose which microphone, which camera, speakers you're using, and instead of going into like an additional menu and then pulling up the settings in that little menu, the dialog box, it just makes it a lot simpler and easier to pick from there. And this is makes it a lot easier, especially for people coming from other video conferencing tools. I don't know how easy it is in other ones, but this definitely makes it very easy to pick and choose which ones you want to select going into a meeting.
This is great. I wanted to do something like this for a very long time, and now it's just front and center. And just like in other video conferencing, you don't have to necessarily click. Well, some of them you do still have to click multiple screens through in order to get in, but this is really sleek. And you'll be able to see the screenshot on the video side, of course, over here. I think it's over here.
But and a new design of the whole page. I mean, there's a whole new design. It's just redesigned.
Much cleaner. It shows your levels, shows your inputs, the whole nine. So
I wish they'd make the companion mode a little bit more prominent, though.
That's weird. Even when you click into companion mode, it's
almost like there. Almost like as if the other ways to join drop down they should swap them,
Mm-hmm.
Like it should be join now, companion mode, and then other ways to join,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Because I use companion mode every single day, multiple times a day. So
on this interface here, it does say use companion mode in a room instead.
I know. It says it in text, but I'm just saying the other ways to join button they should swap those two. I think.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
What I think.
Shout out to the screenshot here. It's huge.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yes. Let's get into that. Almost.
Sorry, jumped the gun.
Sorry, that's right. All right. So that's that update there. Let's see. It says it's now available. I didn't see it today though, so I'm not sure when that's going to be coming because it's been a couple days now. So because this was the Friday announcement and it's Tuesday already. So have not seen it in any of my meetings today, but maybe others have.
I haven't
next,
had any meetings today. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Next, there's been some improvements to sales and customer service integrations in Google Chat. So some third-party tools, sales tools like Salesforce and customer service tools like Zendesk now have better integration with chat using the updated apps there. And you can now more easily search and share Salesforce records into the chat stream. Zendesk, you can have some improved notifications of updates to Zendesk tickets in chat. And also, that is supposed to be available now. So if you have those already active and in chat, you should be seeing those already.
Have you tried any of these?
No. I mean, I've built my own for Freshservice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to build it.
Yeah,
I had to write the code for it, so there wasn't a pre-built one.
You'll have to fork it and give me a copy because I haven't tested it because I'm also in Freshservice and Freshservice hasn't built this in yet. So.
Oh yeah, like as soon as like customers like request license increases or any like service requests within Freshservice, a new it's gonna a new thread gets created, but it's gonna change. Oh, that's gonna be horrible. Everything. If you haven't seen the update that came this week, oh my god, it's like the worst update ever.
Crying.
It's yeah. I mean, I'm just dreading that update because I've been in a few spaces that have this new threading functionality, and it's horrible. It really is bad.
I like it. You and I disagree on this tremendously.
Yeah, because you now have to like tag everyone in the space so that they follow these threads because it doesn't show up as like being the most talked about thread in the space there.
Oh, you mean if it's
horrible?
Topic?
It's horrible. Like right now, when there's a conversation happening and like staff need to see like, hey, here we're talking about this customer now. Like, if you haven't engaged in that with that let's say thread before, you're not going to see it. Like it's bad. It's really bad. It's
interesting.
It's the worst. I
suppose.
Yeah, it's like ruins a lot of workflows that exist. Right now.
I think that we have to still get used to the new interface and do some of the things that we did for the threaded or not threaded, but organized by topics, which we previously called threaded, and we're getting seriously off course here. But essentially, just like we used to say, okay, every conversation gets a new topic, and the way that you determine it's a topic is you put the topic on there first as the first message, and you bold it. If you're doing that too in threaded rooms, then at least people know that, okay, I'm going to look in here as a topic, and they'll see there's a thread there.
That's fine. Of course, that gets you part of the way there, right? But when something happens more recent in one of those, it doesn't all of a sudden jump to the most recent in that space. It just still stays way back there in history. That's what's bad. Yeah. Like you have no idea that something is happening in that thread.
Does the AI summary feature help with that?
I don't know. Does it? I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I haven't tested it too extensively because, all of my spaces that I use are currently on topic based and not new threaded. Yeah. So I only just set one up, I think, like last week, just to play around with it. So more testing is required, but we'll go more into detail on that in next week's episode.
Yeah. All right. Ugh. Hopefully they delay that one like they have spaces. Not spaces, sites. Hopefully they can delay. They should delay that update like they've delayed sites for 4 years.
It doesn't sound like that's going to be the case.
Please delay it for 4 years, please. All right. Two-pane view for foldable Android devices now available on Meet, Gmail, and Chat. Have you seen a two-pane foldable Android? I've probably seen like two.
No. No, wait. I saw a foldable Android device yesterday.
Yeah.
In the wild that somebody was using. It was a Samsung, I think. And I was like, that's pretty cool. And then I looked at it and the screen was like destroyed and nasty and you could see the crease. I was like, it'll get better.
Yeah.
I saw some really nice concepts coming out of Mobile World Congress in Barcelona this week that apparently all the things I just mentioned progressed tremendously.
There was something Google announced with that. Oh yeah, there was like the
car stuff.
Yeah, there's car
Android
stuff, and
Auto.
there's some voice stuff as well, like voice services for.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I can't remember
I didn't see
exactly
those.
what
I saw the Mercedes and other announcements for Android Auto.
This is less consumer focused and more like voice, like call center type level services. That's what it was. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, for those, 2 or 3 people out there in the world on a foldable Android device, you can now have a little bit better experience and have 2-pane view for Meet and Gmail. So Google's super excited to announce this.
I wonder if this is more of an advanced, like an in advance release, because I am seeing a lot more rumors surrounding a coming Google Foldable, and so it could be that Google is getting ready to go big into that area, and therefore are rolling these out in advance so that it's ready to go at the time. Maybe.
Could be.
I think I've said this before on the show. I don't know.
Yeah. Could be. I think wasn't there some leaks around a foldable Pixel?
Yeah. And the leaks are heating up. And Google is extremely leaky, so
yeah, they are.
Where there's smoke, there's definitely fire.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I want to switch to a foldable. I mean,
I definitely want a foldable, but
like
it's
Motorola Razr days.
What's wrong with the Motorola Razr? My only hesitation with that
they don't have a foldable screen. It's good. It's better.
My hesitation there is I would slam it closed and shatter the screen. That's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
No, you never slam when you get off the phone.
No, I just want to have like a keypad on the bottom, right, and the screen on the top. That do that, and then we'll come back to it.
Right. Oh, you want a BlackBerry? I see.
No, not a BlackBerry. Remember the one of the first Android phones?
Oh, you're talking the sliders?
The slider, G1? Yeah, like that one. That one's great. Something like that.
Like the Sidekick, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good phones.
I had one of those
back in the day.
Mm-hmm. I got mine on that was my first phone. I think when I went to London, 2006.
Oh wow! I was still on a BlackBerry train at that point. I loved my BlackBerry.
Yeah, that was the G1, I think.
But Android sucked back then. Yeah, that's what I said. The G1.
Oh no, it was great. HTC Dream. Yeah, the Dream.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. I loved it. I loved that phone. It was great.
I did have the Sidekick on T-Mobile for a while back then, trying it out. But then I went back to BlackBerry because Android was not really all that great back then.
Yeah, I had one of the T-Mobile G1s. It's great. I really liked it. All right. Next in our summit releases here in the recap, there's an optimized Zoom experience for Google Sheets on Android devices. So just a little bit better way to Zoom here on Sheets. So scaling is kind of a different, kind of scales differently here. Like a little, I don't know. I'm trying to describe it here. I'm looking at the images and like looking at the side by side. It's like you have a little bit smaller bottom pane here, and then you have like the ability to kind of slide back and forth, left and right. So it's like a little bit minor update here.
Honestly, it took me a long time looking at these two screenshots side by side, and I'm still not even sure what the difference is between them.
Just look at the bottom. The bottom window is a little bit shorter.
So now it has a little indicator on it. Like
right.
The rows. Rows are larger on the second screenshot. We're talking about Zoom, aren't we?
Yes. Yes.
I think perhaps a screenshot was not the best way to show this.
No. I think there needed to be some data in there and some
maybe
animation.
And so,
yes. It definitely needed some better context to show, there's 35 rows on the left and there's 28 on the right. And it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit smaller now. So, but there you go. All right.
At least
and then,
it's a big screenshot.
Yes.
Big enough anyway.
Sorry, moving. That's all right. Now going into our updates of the week. The first one here is that trusted types is now going to be required instead of just standard strings. So trusted objects instead of strings. What does this mean? Basically, it means more security. It means that there's less chance of cross-site scripting, and there is a content security policy header now as part of Docs, Sheets, Slides, and all these other services. So Docs, Sheets, Slides, Forms, Sites, Jamboard, Drawings, and Drive all will include trusted types. and just reduces, like I said, reduces that ability for cross-site scripting and vulnerabilities. So this is something, if you are a developer, make sure that you are aware of this, because you're going to have to start to recode things, and make sure that you're using trusted types instead of just strings.
I think I need to cut that into a short Steve rapping doc sheets, slides, forms, sites. It's a good beat right there.
Yeah, I tried to do it. Very quick there. Thought you liked that.
Very nice.
I was thinking of you, Jesse, when I did that.
Yes.
I was, yeah. So this one, like I said, tailored towards developers. So I don't know if there's too many developers listening out here, but if you are, go and update your apps now, because it will be coming out soon. Rollout for this one will be coming to rapid release domains on the 23rd of March, and then the 23rd of April for silent release domains. So, they just kind of keep an eye on your add-ons. So I think from a Workspace admin's perspective, what should you be aware of, right? Because if you're a developer, you're probably not listening, but if you're a Workspace admin, what does this mean? What it means is that those developers need to be updating their apps, and they may not. So you may have some add-ons or some third-party tools that start to not work as as expected.
Optimally?
Let's say. There's optimally, yes, as optimally or as expected anymore for users. So that is something just to keep an eye out, because you might start to see an increase in complaints from your end users that something's not working as expected. And it's probably going to be completely out of your control. You're going to have to get the developer to update that and make some changes. So whether or not there's some sort of, backward compatibility, I don't know entirely, but just thinking, what impact this could have on the Workspace admins kind of side of things, that's what could happen. So just be aware of that. And, as I said, this will be starting as soon as the 23rd of March for those rapid release domains. So 23rd of April for scheduled release domains. And then last on the updates, we have these new smart canvas features in Sheets and Docs. So more and more little pieces being added to that, the ability to add kind of enhanced functionality to your sheets. This is going to add some extended date capabilities, some place chips, finance chips, and some stopwatch chips. And stopwatch I haven't seen yet, but probably because still waiting to have it roll out. This one hasn't rolled out to everyone just yet, but some interesting ones here. The place chips is going to give you the ability to insert some Google Map functionality there, and open that location directly in Maps see a preview of location or directions. Those date capabilities are going to give you the ability to refer to things like today, yesterday, tomorrow, or just like at date, and gives you kind of a date picker there to pick some things out. As I was saying to Jesse, like you just have like today, yesterday, tomorrow always just used to be a function, right? It was like equals today -1 equals today +1, but there's going to be some little better visualizations here when you start to use the date picker and things like that. Finance chips, so Google Finance, such as stocks, mutual funds, and currency into a sheet. I use Google Finance very, very frequently, especially the currency conversion. So it's always, equals Google Finance, and then quote, GBP USD, for example, in quotes, and then, times whatever your currency is there. But it's going to make it a little bit easier to insert those. And then the stopwatch also. So being able to insert a stopwatch, you can start, stop, and reset the timer as needed. Yeah. Wasn't there something that you could always do? You could just like Google stopwatch, right? And then something would come up.
Yep.
Yeah. So you can do that. Oh yeah, that gives you the timer and stopwatch there if you just Google it. Mm-hmm. But this will bring it right into your spreadsheet if you need it there. I wonder if they have this. Are they going to bring this into Docs at all? Oh yeah, Sheets and Docs. Okay, good. Yeah, because it shows like an animation of mostly Sheets for all of these features. They didn't show a Docs image, but it'll be
that last
coming
one,
to
the
both.
Stopwatch.
Oh yeah,
Docs.
that's true. That is what that's from. Yep, that's right. The stopwatch is probably that would be useful for. Well, I was thinking slides, but that's what the speaker notes are for, really, with the timer there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Well, roll out on this one. Just look at if there's anything interesting on the getting started here. Really just looking at like the list of terminology to figure out what you're going to put in there as an end user. But rollout pace for this one is going to begin on the 23rd of February for ref release domains, and then on the 9th of March for scheduled release domains, both on a gradual rollout up to 15 days for feature visibility on that, and available to all Workspace customers as well as the legacy G Suite and Basic and Business and personal Google accounts. That's all for this week.
Those are the updates of the week. So over on the news side here, RIP to Google's friendly office cleaning robots. Apparently, the Everyday Robots project is being shut down over at Google. Yeah, it's a surprise, honestly, because I know
saw a whole bunch of robots this last week, like all around places. That they're at the airports. They were, like picking up your
Google's robots or other people's robots.
This was like at the O'Hare Airport.
Yeah. And I believe there was they talked a whole bit about their robots in, I don't know, a couple of months ago. But apparently the company that Google owns that is behind them, called Everyday Robots, is no longer going to exist as a discrete team. Quote, Everyday Robots will no longer be a separate project within Alphabet. That could mean, by the way, that they're just being absorbed into something else. Yeah. It does say some of the technology and part of the team will be consolidated into existing robotics efforts within Google Research. So it's probably just more of the, hey, we're shutting down individual larger groups and consolidating them, just like they're doing with the Maps team and the Waze group, as well as a lot of the Area 120 stuff as well. So we'll see. But they're as far as I could tell, they're pretty happy with these robots. So, doing things like custodial work, sorting trash, cleaning tables, etc. I think that these are a good step forward, and I liked seeing them around. Pretty cool. Definitely futuristic, but I don't know. Maybe Google has a different strategy around them going forward. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. So if you're interested in all of the details there, hit the link below for the Verge article. And then this one is specifically for partners. Google is launching new specializations, because they already have existing ones. 3 very important new trends is what they are trying to address. One is the data center modernization services specialization, and that is for partners who have demonstrated success with data center transformation of workloads from on-premises, private cloud, or other public clouds. Number 2 is the DevOps services specialization for those that have demonstrated success implementing, managing, and improving the quality and speed of creating new applications on Google Cloud. That's a good one. And then Contact Center AI, still around, still a thing, still a lot of investment behind it. So Contact Center AI services specialization for those that have demonstrated success in implementing and migrating Contact Center AI projects with Dialogflow. So more information on each of those and what it takes to get into those, and the partners that already have achieved these specializations, such as SADA for the data center monetization. Wow, try that again. Data center modernization specialization. My brain just went blah, 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 blah. Our friends over at SADA already achieved that one, and some others for the other certifications there as well. And if you're a partner who wants to learn more about how to earn specializations, check out everything you need to know, including certification requirements, customer success stories, and more on the Partner Advantage portal. There's also a email if you would like to schedule an optional pre-assessment for a fee before applying. And so if you want that email, go ahead and check out the article. And then last article that I have here is finally here, Google Tasks on the web without using Gmail's sidebar. So it's a dedicated interface for Google Tasks. Now, it seems that this has been born out of the reminders and assistant migrations or integrations or replacements that is happening here. And as Tasks is set to fully replace assistant reminders, it looks like it's going to be using possibly some of that interface there, updated with Material U design. Obviously, you can access tasks in the sidebar and in the dedicated app on Android and iOS. But if you would like, you can go to assistant.google.com/tasks. And I'm not sure it's entirely live yet, but you will be able to see your tasks there. Now, it is live. Welcome to Google Tasks. I was able to do it just now. That being said, it's just, come on. It is just a single column. It's not it's literally the sidebar, bigger. Sorry, guys. I got excited about this one. Didn't fully click through to see the live thing. It's still just the sidebar. Whoop-de-doo. You can have a dedicated sidebar open somewhere else, but it's not anywhere close to the fully fledged task manager that it should be. Oh well. Welcome to Google Tasks. You can manage tasks on the go from any device, stay on track with notifications, start your important ones, and use your voice to save set reminder with the system. Yeah, that was my last point here. Why aren't they doing that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just 404s. So somebody over at Google, figure it out, man. Please help us. I don't recommend Google Tasks, honestly, straight up, because this experience is awful. So hopefully we are seeing updates here. Hopefully they continue to actually invest in it, and it just becomes task.google.com, and you will be able to have a fully fledged multi-column, even Gantt or even list view task editor there for all of the locations that you are putting in tasks, whether it's in chat, whether it's in spaces, whether it's in documents, whether it's in Keep. Bring it all together. Come on, bring it home, Google. You can do this. And the last thing that I wanted to bring up here that I did not have in the show notes that I remembered halfway through here is we've heard a lot of chatter from the education space about pronouns and being able to put your custom pronouns on your profile, and the fact that it's not available for education. And I'm a little bit baffled by this, to be honest. The education sector is where I thought it would begin. The education sector is the one that has made the most noise about it, and who, are very concerned with this and want to have this, and other tools in the education sector specifically were the first ones to roll out support for this. So why did Google just roll it out only for business customers? Unfortunately, from what I'm seeing in some of the conversations that I was having in the forums, it looks like they're done working on pronoun feature for the rest of the year. So get in touch with your resellers, get in touch with your partners, get in touch with Googlers that you know if this is an important topic to you, and ask them, say, hey, what the hell? Where's the love for education? This is not something that should be paywalled. This is not something that should be, kept behind a gate somewhere. This should be just roll it out for everybody. What's the problem here? It does not seem like a difficult, I'm sure there's a reason, but it does not seem like a difficult engineering task to roll out here. And yes, sure, there are differences in education and in enterprise, but there are so many things that start on the education side and then come to business and enterprise, and I don't know why they went the other direction with this one. Steve, what do you think? Any thoughts?
No. I was looking.
All right, we're going to keep digging. We're going to keep talking. What did you say?
I was looking at something else when you were talking about that, actually.
Oh, sorry. And then the last thing here, as Steve mentioned earlier, is the reminder for the Google Workspace Developer Summits, one in Toronto and in Chicago. These are in person, hosted at the Google Toronto and Chicago offices, respectively, on March 9th and 14th, respectively. So if you are interested, go and hit the link down below to sign up. There's a sign-up form and the event page. And that's pretty much everything we've got for you this week. So short and sweet. And send us your questions and comments on Twitter if you got them. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't yet. And we appreciate you coming back every week for everything Workspace news from Workspace Recap. So have a great week. We'll see you next time on Workspace Recap.